Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the new Dokkan Fest Turles because, you know, the community's response to this guy has definitely been, not the best. It's been pretty bad. And I kind of understand that, right? I mean, a lot of things in this guy's kit are just simply not good enough, right? Like his entrance animation is only restricted to fighting a Goku family category enemy. And of course, none of the difficult events have that right now. So there's a lot of things in this guy's kit to where it kind of makes me question what were they thinking. But overall, I still think this guy's going to be really good. I mean, it's a Turles. He leads Space Traveling Warriors and Pure Saiyans. So as an actual lead, he's going to be amazing. Even though his extra 200% is kind of bad. Like, I think the extra 30% is like Planetary Destruction, and then the other one is Low Class Warrior. So those are two really bad, like, extra 30% buffs. But, the main things in his leader skill, like Space Traveling Warriors and Pure Saiyans, are very good. So, for newer players, this guy's going to be really good. If you're free to play, this guy can be really good because, of course, he's leading some pretty solid teams. But, yeah, before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, keep in mind that our timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And, yeah, let's get right into it. So, on this opening rotation right here, we have a very good turn. We are going to have him with the LR Turles, so we're going to have every link active except for one. And then we do also have some support from him. And then start of turn, we're at 314k defense. Okay, so this is the main issue with him, right? Turn 1, he sucks. He's, like, unbearably horrible, right? Like, he is very, very bad. He's taking so much damage from all these difficult events. Just because that's 314k defense, and then that's it. He does build up some defense, but that's only on super. And, Ki can be kind of an issue with this guy. I mean, right here, we've got a lot of support. And, obviously, we've got him linked up with his best linking partner, so he's not really going to struggle with it right here. But if you don't have him with the LR Turles, which you can't even bring this LR Turles in difficult content, so that can be kind of an issue with him. And then, if you got an Easy A this celebration, that would have been great, but it got revealed LR GoPros are getting an Easy A, which is a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, Turles right here is building up, like I said. He does build up to, in total, when he's fully built up, he gets 160% defense, he gets 20% damage reduction, and then 8 Ki. So the 8 Ki is actually, like, very, very useful, because as I said, he might struggle for a little bit of Ki towards the beginning of the fight, but then once you get a couple supers off, you build up with him, then he'll be absolutely fine. And then he does get the 5% damage reduction up to 20%. Look, it should have been 30%, right? I mean, I don't know what else to say. It should have been 30%. 20% is very low. I mean, it's good he has it, right? The damage reduction with the high defensive stat is still good. But, I don't know, man. I feel like that should have been just a little higher, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, though. And then the additional 160% defense, of course, is very, very good, right? That's a very high defensive stat, or a defensive buff, 160%. So once you actually have that, you'll see a dramatic increase in his defense. So, alright, right here we've got a lot of support, a little over 300k defense. We'll keep him in slot 1. This guy is really good as well. This is pretty much the best linking partner for Turles that can actually be, like, used in difficult content right now. So if you have them, or if you pull them when the banner comes out, this is definitely a very good rotation right here. But I don't know, man, like, for you to want to summon on this banner, it's going to have to be, like, a good banner, because even if you pull Turles, I just feel like there's better options, right? I mean, if you pulled God Goku for Sunday, he leads Pure Saiyans in his leader skill as well, which, that pretty much makes him, very similar in terms of their leader skill. And he's just a better option, right? The Dokkan Fest God Goku. So if you have him, and you're only really going to be using Turles for, his Pure Saiyans lead, so everyone on his team is just pretty much going to be on Pure Saiyans category, which is what you're going to do because, most of the other units on his leader skill aren't really that good. Then, you might as well just not use him because you got God Goku, right? So, I really just feel like it boils down to there being better options with this guy. But then if you're running the extreme side of his leader skill, I mean, I guess he's going to be really good, but that's just because Dokkan does not like extreme units. I mean, they just don't release them frequently enough, and then when they do, well, we get this, right? So, okay, right here we got a good turn for him. We can pop his active skill, which I guess we can go ahead and do to get this in the video. Okay, so yeah, now that we got a couple supers off with him, you can see 642k defense, so a big increase. That's because we do get 40% defense with every super attack performed, up to 160%, like I mentioned earlier. And then, I forget how many supers we did, but we built up some damage reduction as well. So we probably have like, what, 10% damage reduction right here. I mean, yeah, that's good. I mean, 642k defense with 10% damage reduction. If you have type advantage, that's definitely double digits from like a difficult defense normals. But I don't know. Still, for a Dokkan Fest, that is a little lacking. But he's not fully built up yet. You know, we still got a lot of stats we could get, so I won't judge him too hard yet. But we do have his active skill. Now, unfortunately, not a big fan of the active skill either. The effect is that it just greatly raises attack and then does ultimate damage. So there's no crits or anything like that, which is kind of unfortunate. You know, you want your active skills to do as much damage as possible. But this guy is stacking attack. So then, as long as you get a lot of supers, his active skill will hit really hard. But we only got like 1 or 2 supers off with this guy, so just keep in mind, this isn't going to hit like insanely hard. But if you stack up a bunch with him, then this definitely can do a lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, that was still a good amount of damage considering we only got a couple supers off on this turn, so that definitely is pretty good. But yeah, as I said, you know, it doesn't actually do anything with the active skill, but it does technically count as a super attack, so we did build up a little with it. So as you can see, we're almost at 800k defense start of turn. I mean, I guess that's pretty good, because, I mean, we do have support from the Turles and the Chile, but like the Chile, you can run in difficult content, so it's pretty realistic to have support from her. And, you know, that's still solid, because we have some damage reduction as well. I don't know. I think we still have like 1 or 2 supers until we're fully built up. 11 million, by the way. That is pretty damn good. And then he does also get some additionals. He has an additional that has a high chance to become a super after he performs the 6th attack. So then, after you get a lot of supers off with this guy, you know, he can look good. Actually, that's just kind of how this guy works, right? After you get supers, which you're going to want to prioritize because you got to build up with him, you have to stack attack, and then also you do have to, you know, get the supers to get the extra additional that has a high chance to become a super. So I think that's pretty much it with this guy. You just really, really want to make sure he gets a super off. I mean, I know with most units, you know, it's like that, but especially with this guy, because you're building up the defense, the damage reduction, the key, you're stacking attack. You know, if you do the 6 supers, or the 6 attacks, I guess, then you get the additional that has a high chance to become a super. So, you know, this is really a build-up unit, which can be good, but with how just bad extreme class units are in general right now, I think we did really need like just a really good out of the gate, just like slot 1 unit or something like that. That also does a good amount of damage, because then you've got, you know, Cooler, who's a build-up unit. Turn 1, he's pretty bad. You've got there's Metal Cooler, which I guess is alright slot 1 or turn 1 because he has the revive, but he is also a build-up unit. So a lot of these extreme class units are build-up units. So then it makes it turn 1 in these difficult events. You don't really have anyone you could just like throw in slot 1, right? So I don't know. It's just kind of wonky, right? I think there definitely is a couple ways they could have made this Turles better. Maybe by giving him guard for the first couple turns, so then it helps him build up. Maybe by giving him dodge or damage reduction for the first couple turns. Just anything like that. Just so this guy could have really been like perfectly fine for the first couple turns before he builds up. But when you do build up with him, you get a turn like this. Now granted, I think we have like 100% support, which, yeah, that's a lot. But still, 930k defense. Almost a million defense. And I'm going to assume we're fully built up right here. So we have 20% damage reduction. That's pretty good. I'm pretty sure we're surviving a super, even from like a type neutral boss. Type advantage, we're definitely surviving. And then type disadvantage, I think we still would die. But 20% damage reduction with almost a million defense, that is pretty good, right? That is actually pretty crazy. So I'll give him credit where credit is due. I mean, that's very impressive, but at the same time, this is kind of like a very, very like good turn for him. Almost unrealistically good. Because LR Turles, you can't run in difficult content. The Paragus and Broly, you definitely can't run in difficult content. So, you know, not the most realistic turn, but I mean, we're doing, what was that, an 11 million into a 12 million? That is pretty crazy. Yeah, that definitely is pretty good. And we got the triple super. Okay, so we'll nuke with this Turles. I don't want to nuke. I was going to nuke on the next turn, but I want to nuke with this guy. He got the triple super. So we'll showcase this next rotation. And then the turn after that, we'll nuke. And then we'll probably cut to the, I guess, Omega Shenron red zone stage. Because, you know, he's got type advantage. Because I am curious how much he tank from a super. I mean, we already know he's going to survive his normals. So I'll probably just cut to, like, when we can tank a super. But if he survives that, that's still impressive. I think that's like just barely what I would want. That would like just barely like be the exception for a Dokkan Fest unit. And that's kind of how I feel about this guy overall, if I'm being honest. Like, he could have been a lot better, but I mean, he is still good, right? As much as it's odd to kind of say, because, you know, turn one, he's looking very, very bad. It was just like 300k defense, which sucks. But I mean, once you build up with him, he does start to look pretty impressive. But then, as I said earlier, that kind of causes an issue because all these units on the extreme teams all need to build up. So then it's like, okay, well, you've got no one to really run in slot 1 to tank these attacks. But regardless, I mean, look, he's still doing good. He's good. He's doing good damage, right? I mean, as I said, you get your supers off with this guy, he's gonna destroy. But I don't know. The only really good slot 1 unit for this guy is the Ballsack Brothers, right? So it's kind of weird, because then if you don't pull these guys, you don't really have a good slot 1 unit, so then it's a whole thing. I mean, it's kind of the same case with Captain Ginyu, but like when Ginyu's banner came out, because then of course, you know, he had his 2 banner units, and if you didn't pull the banner units, then you are kind of being restricted for Dokkan Fest Captain Ginyu. But I feel like Captain Ginyu was just a little bit better, like at least at the time of release. I mean, now I think Turles might be a little bit better than Captain Ginyu, of course, but when Captain Ginyu released, I mean, he was crazy because he was stacking. Of course, he had the active skill too, which made it to where he gets like 50% chance to dodge. You know, he's still building up. He gets additionals and crits built in too. So I think Ginyu was just a bit of an exception because he was really crazy. But then this Turles, it's like, okay, I mean, turn 1, you know, you're just dying in a lot of these events, right? So I don't know. It's just, again, a really wonky spot for him. 818k defense. We did lose a lot of support, so that's why we dropped off a bit. Hopefully we can get pretty lucky with key spheres right here. Okay. Actually, that's pretty good. Can we get the rainbow key spheres? Dude, perfect. Okay, 23 key spheres, and we stacked up a lot with this guy. Alright, so this Turles wants to look good. Dokkan really wants me to wank this Turles off right here.
What?
I mean, he's got, you know, a good amount of support on this turn. He's got 23 key spheres. And then also we are fully built up. We've stacked up a lot, so I mean, we'll see. He's definitely going to kill. I mean, not only do we have type advantage, but the Goku's at a very low, you know, HP stat. But, alright, what are we doing? Almost 30 million. And the bitch dodged it. Alright, well, 7.2 million damage. Pretty good. I was so curious how much damage I was going to do right there, bro. Are you serious? Okay, whatever. With all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the Omega Shenron Red Zone stage. Alright, so we're here fighting Red Zone Omega Shenron, and I did want to record this rotation right here, because we still have a good turn for him, right? He's going to have most of his links active, because of course we have him with the LR Turles, and we have support from the LR Turles and the Chilai. And we're at 928k defense, so very crazy. But the main reason I wanted to record this was to show LR Turles. He's tanking 1 normal, or he's taking, I shouldn't say he's tanking, he probably won't tank it, but I'm just curious how much damage this is going to do, right? I mean, if you're going to be using this Turles, this is, again, his best linking partner, so you're going to want to be running this guy. So we'll see how much damage he's taking right here. If he's taking a lot, then that does affect the Turles, because then that goes to show you his main linking partners can't survive these events. So of course that does innately affect him. But okay, yeah, a lot of damage. I don't want to do too much damage though, because I want to see the other Turles on the next rotation. I want to see him try and tank the normal, or tank the super, because I think he'd be able to survive it. Dude, really? Oh my god, that is so much damage, bro. We did over half of his health. That's crazy. That is so crazy. I mean, yeah, because we did over 10 million attack stacks, but still, I mean, it's pretty crazy the amount of damage this guy's gonna be doing. So, alright. Yeah, 132k. That definitely is a lot, and that's 132k in a situation like this. We've got support from the Chilai, we've got pretty much every link active, so, you know, a very good rotation for him, and a lot of damage right there. Okay, so this pretty much just boils down to, is Turles gonna kill? Because, I mean, you know, these two guys are definitely not gonna kill. So if Turles kills, then I guess that kind of sucks, right? Because I want to see him, I want to see how much damage he's going to take from the super. But okay, I guess, yeah, we have to miss out on the super right here. Because I do want to prioritize the super with the AGL Turles. Because I think he gets some defense on super, right? No, he just gets some attack. Damn, okay, alright, well, I don't know, man, he might die. We'll see. If we die right here, we die. Because I know he's definitely not going to be, you know, tanking in slot 1, but, okay, that's a lot of damage. Just don't, oh, come on, man, I'm trying to survive here. Or I want him to survive, so we can see Turles tank the super. Okay, he didn't crit. And then there wasn't a super after that. Okay, that's pretty good. So as long as this doesn't crit, like for real, don't crit. You stupid. I hate you. And the normal crit, just to add insult to injury. Okay, but we're tanking, at least that. Okay, Turles, I need you to not crit. Okay, he's only at 8 million. Alright, that's good. So I need him to not crit and not get an additional. I hate you, Turles. I hate you so much. I hate Turles. Alright, here we have Evil Warrior with the Forbidden Power, Turles. So starting off with his leader skill, it is Space Traveling Warriors or Pure Sands, category key +3, HP attack and defense plus 170%, and then the extra 30% to stats goes to Planetary Destruction and Low Class Warrior. Already talked about this earlier in the video, so I won't talk about it for too long. His super attack effect is that he raises attack, so it's an infinite attack stack. He causes immense damage to enemy and then recovers 6% HP. The HP recovery is actually really good, because you can get up to 3 supers in a turn. So, you know, if you're doing 3 supers and getting 6% HP on all of those, obviously that'll recover a lot of HP. And then he activates the entrance animation upon entry once only. He gives all extreme class allies 3 ki and then 18% attack for the rest of battle if there's a Goku family category enemy or an enemy whose name includes Gohan Kid at the start of character's attacking turn. He gets attack and defense plus 160% and then an additional attack plus 60%. And launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super when HP is 50% or more. Okay, actually, I kind of forgot about this in his kit. So you can get a quadruple super then. You can get 4 supers in a turn because you can get this, and then he's got another super that he can get, yeah, once you perform 6 attacks. So yeah, you can get up to 4 supers, which is just better for this guy, obviously, because it's just more attack stacks, and then more HP you can get in a turn. So definitely very good there. And then he also gets an additional attack plus 100% when performing a super. He gets ki +2 up to 8, damage reduction of 5% up to 20%, defense plus 40% up to 160% with every super attack performed. And then he gets attacks effective against all types, and then he launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super once this guy performs 6 attacks. So, I mean, a good passive. My only issue with him is turn 1. He's really not going to be looking that good, or I guess for the first couple turns, actually. He's really not going to be looking that good. And then, other than that, he's going to be looking solid, right? I mean, he's got the damage reduction. He's got a pretty high defensive stat. So, he can look pretty good in the right situations. But also, his linking partners are really bad. So, it's just the spot this guy's in right now in the game is pretty bad. Because it goes to show you, Dokkan doesn't really like extreme class units, right? So, it unfortunately just affects this guy a lot. But anyway, moving on to his active skill. The effect is that he greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage. And then the condition is that it can be activated from turn 3 when there's a Goku family category enemy or an enemy whose name includes Gohan, or it just can be activated from the 6th turn from start of battle. So definitely very good condition. And then his links are Sand Warrior Race, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown, Prepared for Battle, Destroyer of the Universe, and Fierce Battle. So actually a really good link set. I mean, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown are all really good links for an extreme class unit because it makes it to where he'll link better with, you know, like the LOE units. So that definitely is very good. And then his categories are Space Traveling Warriors, Pure Sands, Planetary Destruction, Low Class Warrior, Movie Bosses, Terrifying Conquerors, and then Final Trump Card. So, alright, that is the Dokkan Fest Turles. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this guy down in the comments. Let me know how you think they could have made him better, because I know there's a couple things in his kit to where it's like, okay, you could have done like a little bit more right there. More specifically with like, you know, his damage reduction, that probably could have gone up to like 30%. Maybe his start of turn attack and defense stat could have been like 180%. So then turn 1, you know, he's looking a little bit better. But there's just a couple things to where it's like, all right, you know, you could have given him a little bit more right there. So once again, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.